I know when I say that life has been on hard mode, that a lot of people can relate to that. I don't know what it is, but since 2020, everything has just been different. There are so many things that feel like they're out of my control, and it just requires a different mentality to keep going despite everything. Most people go to COVID when they start to notice a downward spiral in the quality of life. But for me, it was when my dad passed away. For the past 5 years, I've been pedal to the metal with busyness with a few breaks in between, while also grieving a very important foundational person who meant so much to me. There are days I really still can't believe that he's gone. So in between working a full-time job, studying for my master's, grinding it out with my internship, and being in a failing relationship, it was all very draining and bound to have a big effect on me. And of course, somewhere along the way, like, not that all that other stuff was enough, but I had the bright idea to start working a part-time job for some extra money. And so, of course, the perfect recipe for burnout was created. Burnout to me feels like if one major thing or even a few small things at once happen at work or in life, then I just want to be done with the day. Like, I'm getting in the bed, I'm putting the covers over my head, and I need to be done with this. And of course, you can't always do that. Burnout feels like always wanting to cry, but never actually letting it out. Just this buildup of emotions of frustration, anxiety, just feeling overwhelmed, but just never being able to truly express that. Burnout is enjoying being outside in nature for a break because that's calming to me. It's something that helps me feel a lot more relaxed. And then having a mini panic attack because I know that I have to go back inside, I have to get back to work, and my body, my everything just doesn't want to do that in that moment. As a social worker with a flexible schedule, one of the hardest challenges for me is to find a good work-life balance. It's almost a gift and a curse where I have the option to set my schedule however I want, which means I can work late into the night without really giving it a second thought, which isn't always a healthy thing. There has to be balances in place, different measures so that, I'm not always working. I can have some fun in my life. I can get out and not be stuck behind a computer all day or, at home visits. I didn't get into social work to make money, but during these months where each day is challenging, the pay has not been worth my mental health or my physical health, to be honest. So I'm learning to have a different approach so that I'm not constantly stressed. I know the pressure that I put on myself to perform well was also a contributing factor towards me feeling burnt out. So my motto lately has been that it won't always be like this. I have to frequently remind myself that I'm working towards my license and hopefully more financial freedom, the ability to hopefully travel more, have more experiences in life, make more memories than just work, sleep, everyday chores. I need variety. I need adventure. I need to be able to explore. So that's what I'm working towards. Yeah. So ever since I started really prioritizing having a balance with work, at least making myself have like Tuesday and Thursday nights just completely off, not doing any notes or anything like that, that's helped give me a little bit of relief. And then and making sure that I'm getting out on the weekends, even if it's just for a couple hours, like not being behind a screen all day, sitting in my chair has just been very relieving. One thing that I've taken away from this season is not to underestimate how much a loss can affect me. Not only just grieving the loss of a loved one, but the loss of a future that I thought that I would have, loss of a relationship, even loss of childhood friendships, and the way that I would interact with my friends. In addition to actually losing a best friend, like those are all things that I've gone through over the past 5 years that have really taken a toll on me, and it's not to be taken lightly. It's really just about recognizing and processing that at one point that they did, the things that I value, they meant something to me. Whatever it was, it meant something to me. So of course it's important to reflect on that and to let it go. It's actually been very important for me to engage in therapy throughout this time, using the quiet and not necessarily always watching YouTube videos or my favorite shows, but having some time to just process throughout my day. I really do that in the morning when I'm walking my dog, but I also do that in between home visits, just so I can have, my own thoughts to myself after I've been, very present for another individual. I would say therapy, quiet, and prioritizing myself has been very helpful in addressing my burnout. So in honor of the 5-year anniversary of my father passing, my one request from you watching this video is to spend some time with a loved one that you haven't seen in a while. Just make that a priority, please. So in the comments down below, please let me know if you've experienced burnout while being in this career field. I know it's very common for it to happen, and usually a lot of people walk away from the field. They just, it's just something you want to get away from. But I know for myself, I really do enjoy what I do. I enjoy making a difference for kids in the dependency system, families in the dependency system. So I do want to continue to do it. And so it's important to address how the burnout is affecting me and to actually try and combat it in some ways. It's almost like how we, like in my field, how we talk about trauma and people being affected by trauma, but then also we talk about like what are the protective factors that can help combat that. So this is right along that same perspective of, yes, you're more than likely going to experience burnout, compassion fatigue, frustrations with the system, frustrations with clients, but what are you going to do to actually help you in those moments to continue to stay in this field, not be jaded, not be just someone who is not reliable anymore just because you don't care. So that's why I'm creating this video. But yeah, so let me know in the comments below exactly if you're currently going through burnout. Let's have a conversation about that, about some things that we could do, some things that you could do to kind of help yourself. But if you've gotten past the burnout, leave what tips have been helpful for those that have gone through it, so we can all just help each other in this community. Thank you for your returned eyeballs and any new ones that have entered the building. Signed, an inconsistent YouTuber.